Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into an idea that absolutely flips the script on how we achieve our biggest dreams. We're so conditioned to believe that we become successful overnight. We see the massive wins, the finished products, the championship trophies, and it's super easy to assume it was just this sudden leap of greatness. But the data we're looking at today proves that assumption completely wrong. We don't just wake up one morning and suddenly find ourselves successful. Actually, we're architecting our tomorrow right now, in this very second. Let's look at exactly how that works.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What if your future isn't actually decided by your big goals, but by your daily habits? I know, it sounds totally counterintuitive, right? We are constantly told to set massive, audacious goals. But what the material really points out is that success isn't a single event. It's not a finish line you suddenly cross. It's actually the result of tiny, seemingly insignificant actions. Actions so incredibly small they almost feel like they don't matter at all in the moment. Things like reading just one single page of a book today, doing one really short workout, eating one healthy meal. These tiny little actions might seem totally invisible today, but as you'll see as we go through this, over time, they literally have the power to transform your entire life.
There is a super powerful takeaway here. If you repeat the same habits every day, you'll repeat the same life every year. Just let that sink in for a second. It really challenges us to take a hard look at our current daily routines. How exactly did you spend your morning today? What do you usually do right after work? Because that routine is quite literally writing the story of your future. Our daily habits essentially act like a crystal ball, showing us exactly where we're headed.
Section 1. The myth of overnight success. To really embrace this mindset shift, we first need to dismantle a super common trap. It's what the sources call the overnight overhaul. And look, you've probably been here. You tell yourself, okay, starting tomorrow, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., work out for 2 hours, read 3 whole books, and just completely change my life. And what actually happens? It's incredibly frustrating, right? Maybe you last a couple of days, but a week later, you inevitably quit because it's just completely unsustainable. But contrast that with the microhabit approach. Instead of changing absolutely everything, you start incredibly small. You commit to reading just 1 page. You commit to exercising for 5 minutes. You meditate for 2 minutes. There is so much relief in this second approach because it totally removes the friction and that looming fear of failure.
Section 2. 3 daily habit examples.
Now that we're officially letting go of that overnight overhaul mentality, let's pivot to a really practical blueprint. Here are 3 perfectly scoped microhabits based on our sources that you can literally implement right away today. Number 1, read 1 page. Number 2, exercise for 5 minutes. And number 3, write 3 things you're grateful for before going to sleep. Notice how incredibly easy these are to maintain? Well, that's completely by design. You can read 1 page even on your absolute most exhausted, busiest day. You can always find 5 minutes to stretch or do a few jumping jacks, and you can quickly jot down a few words of gratitude while you're literally lying in bed. The magic here isn't the volume of the activity. It's the fact that you're consistently casting a vote for a new identity every single day.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that consistency always beats intensity. Small habits are just way easier to maintain, and keeping them up day after day is where the real magic happens. Doing a tiny 2-minute meditation every single day without fail is vastly superior to doing one massive 2-hour meditation retreat once a year. Intensity brings burnout. Consistency brings actual transformation.
Section 3. The consistency formula.
But how do we actually stay consistent? That's the big question. We need a foolproof system for maintaining these small actions so we aren't just relying on fleeting motivation. Because let's face it, motivation fades, but systems last. The easiest way to build a new habit and actually stick to it is a tactical concept from the source material called habit stacking. It's brilliant. Step 1 is identifying an existing habit. So something you already do completely automatically every single day, like brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, or finishing dinner. Step 2 is stacking your new, tiny habit right on top of it. For example, right after brushing your teeth, you read 1 page. After breakfast, you write your goals. After dinner, you take a 10-minute walk. By connecting a new action to an old, deeply ingrained routine, the new habit becomes entirely automatic. You don't even have to remember to do it. Your old habit basically acts as the trigger.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how our environment acts as this hidden force guiding our choices. Your environment actively shapes your behavior. For example, if your goal is to read more, the environment design is keeping a book directly on your desk where you can't miss it. Want to exercise? Lay out your workout clothes the night before so they're literally the very first thing you see. Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle right beside you all day long. You really don't need intense willpower when your surroundings are doing the heavy lifting for you. Success gets incredibly easy when your environment is actively supporting your goals rather than working against them.
Section 4. Never miss twice.
Of course, we have to acknowledge reality here. Even with habit stacking in a perfectly designed environment, we're human, right? Everyone has bad days, everyone loses focus, everyone occasionally skips a workout or forgets to read their page. And that is completely normal. But there is a profound reassurance in this next concept. The mistake isn't missing one day. The mistake is quitting completely. It is so easy to let a minor slip-up cascade into a total collapse. You miss a workout and you think, well, I ruined the whole week, I might as well just stop. But the golden rule of consistency outlined in the material is simply this: never miss twice. If you miss today, no big deal. Just get right back on track tomorrow. One bad day absolutely will not ruin your progress. Giving up will. So give yourself some grace and then just restart the system the very next day.
Section 5. The invisible growth.
As we start to wrap up, we're transitioning from the hard tactics of habit building into a mindset shift that will actually keep you going during those quiet, boring days. Imagine two people planting a tree. The first person waters the seed for 1 week, gets super frustrated because they don't see any branches yet, and just gives up. The second person waters it every single day. Weeks pass, months pass. Still, there's this invisible growth happening deep beneath the surface, but absolutely nothing shows above ground. Then, one day, seemingly out of nowhere, the tree starts to grow and eventually massively blooms. Great habits work exactly the same way. The results are completely invisible while you're building the foundation, until suddenly the results compound and they become totally impossible to ignore.
Because of this invisible growth period, we really have to change our focus. Most people become obsessed with the end results, which honestly just leads to disappointment when they don't appear instantly. This is why the source emphasizes that successful people become obsessed with the process. Instead of obsessing over the tree blooming, you have to fall in love with the act of watering the dirt. Enjoy learning, enjoy improving, enjoy growing. Winning isn't just an event that happens once, it's a daily practice. When you genuinely love the journey and those daily habits, success isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable.
To summarize this incredibly powerful concept, your life 5 years from now will be built by the habits you choose today. The big takeaway here is not to sit around waiting for motivation to strike, but to actively create those systems we talked about. Stop chasing some flawless ideal of perfection and start focusing on consistency instead. Just understand that every single small habit you complete, that 1 page, that 5-minute workout, is a powerful vote for the exact person you want to become. So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought. What is the one habit your future self will thank you for starting today? Remember, success doesn't come from one massive, exhausting effort. It comes from hundreds of tiny, small habits repeated daily. So don't delay those dreams any longer. Pick your one micro habit right now, design your environment around it, and start architecting your tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.